What's up, family? Trail here, and we have some huge news that was announced over the weekend. We just received word that one governor is approving of some new stimulus relief checks to millions of Americans. And yes, it is true. Americans are about to receive around $672 million in stimulus relief aid. And this is mostly going to be going to our low-income families. Now, in addition to that, we have some striking information that you may need to prepare you and your family for, because this could affect all 50 states. Yes, guys, but before we get started, hey, you already know what to do. Make sure that you are subscribed to the channel, as well as hit the like button for the YouTube algorithm. Now let's go ahead and start with the video. Starting off with some breaking news out of China over the weekend. China ended up announcing that their COVID outbreak has pretty much infected about 80% of their population. And I believe their population is sitting at around 5 billion people. That is a lot of people that have been infected with this COVID thing. Yes, guys, prominent scientists says that the Lunar New Year travel rush unlikely to lead to a surge in COVID cases, as most people have already been infected. Yes, guys, the possibility of a large-scale COVID-19 rebound in China over the next few months is remote, as 80% of the country's population has already been infected, according to a prominent government scientist has told the news agency. The mass movement of people during the ongoing Lunar New Year holiday period may spread the pandemic, boosting infections in some areas, but that a second COVID wave is unlikely in the next 2 to 3 months. Again, this is all because of the ongoing wave of the epidemic, driving mostly by multiple sub-branches of the Omicron strain, has already infected 80% of the population. He was quoted as saying on the Weibo social media platform. Now, a statement came as hundreds of millions of Chinese people traveled across the country for the holiday reunions that had been suspended under recently eased COVID-19 precautions. And with some 5 billion passenger trips expected, fears have risen of new outbreaks in rural areas that are less equipped to manage large number of COVID infections. So again, guys, what does this mean for the United States? Well, we all know that a lot of people from China, as well as people from America, travel back and forth from the U.S. to China and back and forth again. And with 80% of the population being infected by COVID-19 of various strands, guys, we could end up getting a lockdown here in the U.S. as well, especially if one of the new strains that was detected in China actually gets caught up in America. So guys, you definitely want to be mindful of this. You definitely want to tell your family members, and you also may want to go ahead and start again wearing your mask to protect you and or your loved ones. Now, I know some people out there don't necessarily agree with the COVID-19 or the protocols in regards to preventing COVID-19 spread. However, there are some that actually believe in it, as well as believing in getting your vaccinations, as well as your ongoing booster shots as well, guys. So you definitely want to be mindful of this, because like I said, 80% of a 5 billion people population from China, and they're not necessarily sure of how many of those will actually be traveling to the United States alone. So, but again, guys, it is definitely something you want to keep in the back of your mind, just in case, because you never know if the United States may have another outbreak very soon, in which we might see ourselves getting put back in to another COVID-19 lockdown. But hopefully not, guys. We are almost hitting the 3-year mark in March this year. And hopefully, guys, hopefully we can just be finally done with this thing forever. But I doubt it. But anyways, guys, moving on. We also have some dire news that came out over the weekend, and that is because we ended up having another mass shooting. Yes, guys. Since then, this particular shooting, I believe, happened in California. And guys, yes, the police have actually identified the particular individual that caused this mass shooting. He was a 72-year-old male individual, and this pretty much happened in the Montero Park, California. Yes, guys, they did ended up finding the suspect, in which he was already deceased from a self-inflicting gun wound. But anyways, guys, yes, this ended up happening on Saturday. Police have identified the suspect in Saturday night's mass shooting in Montero Park, California, as Hu Can Tran. That is his name, which is a 72-year-old Asian man. Authorities said that Tran died after shooting himself in a van that police surrounded on Sunday in a nearby Torrance. Yes, guys, the shooter killed 10 people and injured 10 others following a Lunar New Year celebration in the Los Angeles County of Montero Park. A separate incident occurred in neighboring shortly thereafter, but no one has been reported injured. In a statement from the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department said that, look, we still are not clear on the motive yet. The investigation continues, and that's something that we want to know. We want to know how something like this, something this awful, can happen. Yes, guys, according to Torrance, police officers located a white van matching a description from the shooting and followed it into the parking lot of a shopping center, according to Luna, in which that's where they actually surrounded the vehicle and ended up finding later that he ended up dying from a self-inflicted wound. So anyways, guys, like I said, we haven't seen a mass shooting pretty much this year, I believe, or either we've had one earlier this year. I can't remember because they keep continuing to happen over and over again. But anyways, guys, this is another mass shooting. So we definitely see that this is not over, guys. We are probably going to consistently see this over and over again, especially throughout the year of 2023. So you definitely want to be mindful of that, guys. And states like Texas, which is allowing individuals to actually open carry guns on themselves in the state of Texas. And this is for that particular reason, because let's say you are allowed to open carry in Texas and you're in a grocery store and then someone walks in, you actually are armed and you can potentially protect Americans, guys, civilians, because you can potentially shoot the suspect on the spot if you are actually carrying. So anyways, guys, it depends on what side you are on, but definitely, guys, we definitely want to keep those in our prayers because, like I said, he did end up killing 10 individuals and 10 other individuals have actually been injured. So we definitely want to keep all of those involved in this situation. We want to keep them in our prayers in the meantime. Now, guys, moving on, I do have an update in regards to the war in Ukraine by Russia, in which we do know a lot of countries are now sending in their own tanks in support of Ukraine fighting this war against Russia. And Russia has came out over the weekend and they said that they are sending out an official warning message to all countries that are supplying Ukraine with more powerful weapons, saying that, look, you guys are risking your own destruction. Yes, guys, the Speaker of Russia's parliament warned Sunday that countries supplying Ukraine with more powerful weapons risk their own destruction. The message followed new pledges of armored vehicles, air defense systems, and other equipment, but not the battle tanks Kyiv actually requested. And Ukrainian support pledges billions of dollars in military aid to Ukraine this past Friday, saying that, look, supplies of offensive weapons to Kyiv regime will lead to a global catastrophe, according to the State Duma chairman of Russia, saying that, look, if Washington and NATO supply weapons that would be used for striking peaceful cities and making attempts to seize our territory as they threaten to do so, it would trigger a retaliation with more powerful weapons from Russia. Ukrainian support pledged billions of dollars in military aid to Ukraine this past Friday. And also, guys, Germany is one of the main donors of weapons being sent to Ukraine. And it ordered a review of its Leopard 2 stocks in preparation for a possible green light. Nonetheless, the government in Berlin has shown caution at each step of increasing its commitments to Ukraine, a hesitancy seen as rooted in its history and political culture. So again, guys, the war is not over yet. It seems like it is not slowing down as well, but it does look like more countries outside of the United States are starting to volunteer and step up and to commit to providing more military aid as well as more military equipment for the Ukrainians so that they can continue to use to defend themselves against Russia's aggressive movement. So anyways, guys, Russia is saying that he is threatening these other countries and saying that you guys guys are going to be next, saying that you could end up having destruction in your own countries. So, of course, that is another threat to the United States as well as these other countries as well, such as Germany. But will Vladimir Putin actually stand up to these particular threats? In the past, we haven't seen much from him yet, and he is still struggling on taking over Kyiv. So definitely don't see a positive result in regards to Russia going after the United States or any other country as well, especially if it is a United States ally. But anyways, guys, that is just the latest information on the war in Ukraine. And as usual, guys, hopefully this thing will end very soon. Hopefully this year, guys. But anyways, next month is going to be marking the 1-year anniversary of which this particular unprovoked war actually started, which was sometime in February. But anyways, guys, moving on, we do want to talk about some stimulus update news, and that is because we are getting reports of consumers are starting to cut back on their spending, especially as we continue to head towards this huge recession that is upon us. And yes, guys, it says right here that the economy has been too strong this past year to warrant a federal stimulus round. So we don't see that necessarily up front. But if consumer spending continues to decline, it could fuel a recession, at which point stimulus aid may be back on the table. And so far, consumers continue to struggle back in 2022 as inflation reared its ugly head. Many people, in fact, had no choice but to rack up credit card debt last year just to stay afloat, to keep food on their table, to keep their lights on, to keep the gas in their cars, to get transportation to go to work in order for them to continue to make some type of income to support them and their families. But surprisingly, consumer spending was strong in 2022 despite the soaring inflation, and that's a big reason lawmakers did not approve of a round of stimulus aid last year. However, the last time lawmakers sent out a federal stimulus check was March of 2021, and back then unemployment was still high and the economy was in a much different place as of today. But right now, guys, we are seeing something totally different. We are seeing major companies continue to lay off individuals. We just saw Amazon lay off 18,000 people. We saw Microsoft lay off 12,000 people. And we also saw other big corporations such as tech companies lay off individuals as well. Thousands of individuals, guys. So we have seen more than 65,000 people in the tech industry lose their jobs within the last 22 days. And we're probably going to see even more of that coming over the next 30 days or so, guys, which is causing consumers to actually cut back because you never know how secure your job is. So you definitely don't want to be spending frivolous money on different things that you don't necessarily need. You want to go ahead and focus on saving your money just in case something happens to you or one of the individuals in your family, in which that is why people are starting to cut back. But again, guys, we also have some huge information because we just got approved of some new stimulus relief aid, and that is from right here in New York State. We just received word from Governor Hochul in which she announced $672 million in stimulus relief aid for electric and gas utility bill relief for you New Yorkers. And yes, guys, it says right here that New York State is going to forgive $672 million of overdue gas bills as well as overdue electric bills. It says that New York State will forgive $672 million worth of unpaid gas and electric utility bills with the pandemic era for about 500,000 customers in what the governor's office said was the largest utility customer financial assistance program in state history. Now, the relief is expected to prevent potential service terminations for more than 478,000 residential customers and about 56,000 small businesses, while avoiding significant downgrades to their credit, according to the Office of Governor Kathy Hochul, which stated in a statement. Now, the debt forgiveness plan by the New York State Public Service Commission will give one-time credits to all residential non-low-income customers and small commercial customers for any utility arrears through May the 1st of 2022. So again, guys, any bill that has been unpaid, either gas or electric bill, going from today all the way back to May of 2022, you could have your bill completely wiped away according to this new forgiveness plan in New York. Again, guys, utilities provided a record $101 million in this round of pandemic debt relief, following a $36 million contribution to a similar $567 million program back in June of last year to help low-income customers pay off past electric and gas bills. So again, guys, like I said, this is coming directly from Kathy Hochul's state website, as you just saw what I just showed on the video, in which this is going to be huge, guys. This is going to help millions of Americans just alone in New York State. I mean, come on, guys, 478,000 individuals, and that is including residential as well as small business companies. This is going to help them stay afloat just to get through these economic times, guys, especially as we are entering into this huge recession, this huge bubble that is pretty much bursting right in our faces. So again, guys, we definitely want to give kudos to the governor of New York, Kathy Hochul, and hopefully, guys, we will continue to see other governors see things like what's going on in New York State, and hopefully these other governors can step up to the plate and offer things like this for their particular respective states as well. I know particularly we continue to see this in our blue states, the Democratic states, but we haven't necessarily seen these happen in our red states, such as the state of Texas. But hopefully, guys, things will change very soon, because we don't necessarily expect a stimulus check on the federal level to be coming anytime soon. But in the meantime, these particular local state stimulus checks or stimulus relief plans is definitely helpful to help Americans all over in all 50 states. But again, guys, like I said, I hope all this information in this video was helpful to you today. Well, anyways, guys, hey, that's all I have for you today. But don't forget about some of the offers down below in the description, because it is a few great ways for you to be able to support this channel without spending $1 of your own money. Also, some opportunities for you to get things like 12 free stocks from Webull after depositing just $1. Or you can even get the Amazon Prime membership for free for 30 days. That way you can receive some free shipping, as well as a few other offers as well. But if you are interested, feel free to check those out down below, guys. It really helps out this channel. But anyways, hey, if you enjoyed today's content and you want to see more, go ahead, subscribe to the channel. It's totally free. And if you like today's video, then go ahead and hit the like button for us. It really helps out this channel, as well as it tells YouTube to share this video with others. But anyways, guys, hey, I appreciate you guys stopping by and watching, and I hope to see you on the next video. Peace.